You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, me and Pat are going to discuss what would a winning time type show look like for the Chicago Bulls. We're also going to get into Joakim Noah's all-time starting five and what's going on with Bulls all-time centers. We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, hey, this winning time show has been all the kind of talk. Like, it's a really good show. It's an awesome show. I'll say that, it's directed well. There's some weird castings in there. Like the guy that they have casted as not Phil Jackson. What am I?
Pat Riley.
Yeah, I don't like him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not a fan of him. I'm not gonna lie. That's a weird, and it's for no reason. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's really how Pat Riley acted, but like, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, but outside of that, I mean, it's casted pretty well overall. Also,
Strong
the guy that
Schneid's game too. I'm not gonna lie to
that's
you.
True. That's true. Jason Clark as Jerry West is another weird casting because I'm like, that dude looked like he always high. Like I
think that was the point.
Maybe, but like John C. Riley is Jerry Buss is a great signing. The guy they have playing Kareem is an amazing casting there. But I want to pivot that towards the Bulls, right? I mean, you were talking a little bit before getting off air. I mean, before we went on air, and you had mentioned like you thought that winning time would go the direction is like eventually different seasons will cover different teams. Yeah. What would you like? How would you feel about if they do decide, like, whenever they finish this Lakers story that they're telling, if they pivoted and went to the Chicago Bulls? Do you think that would be a good one? Who would you cast as some of these guys? What do you think?
That's the hard part, right? Like I do think it would be a good one. But the hard part is the casting part. I think that's where winning time should go, by the way. I mean, like, listen, you got, of course, right, there's probably, here's the best part about it, right? Listen, it's the 80s. 90% of the stories that we have in the world are from the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to run out of storylines on the Lakers or whoever it is, right? Like maybe you can weave some other things in. There's going to be stories. So first off, a Chicago Bulls one is wild. I just need the one scene of Michael Jordan trying to get out of the room while people are just doing cocaine left and right. Like, that's all I need to see in winning time. I'm not going to lie to you. But as far as casting, who can you cast as Michael Jordan?
Hey, that's the most difficult part of it. Here, I'm going to say somebody that he doesn't look like Jordan. Much like, I don't think the guy who's cast as Magic actually looks like Magic. He looks enough like Magic that you can get away with it.
He look a little bit like a young Magic. I ain't going to lie to you.
Well, I'm not a soul, but like, somebody that I would really like to see play Michael Jordan, I'm not gonna lie, doesn't really look like Jordan, but I think he could pull it off. John Boyega. I think he could play Michael Jordan.
I don't think he's tall. Like, you got to have a little height to you.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know how old how tall John Boyega is.
I don't think you could go with any actor that's already famous.
He's only 5'9".
Yeah, you would have to find somebody, right? Like, I mean, if you're thinking about it, right, the second you get to like tall actors, we talk Jamie Foxx. I think Jamie Foxx is like 6'3", 6'2", something like that.
Jamie Foxx that tall?
I thought he was, because I know he played quarterback. I thought he was tall. I know Will Smith is tall.
Jamie Foxx is also 5'9".
Dang, he ain't good. He ain't make it. How tall? Will Smith don't look nothing like Michael though. But Will probably could pull off Michael.
I mean, that's the thing. I could to name actors like David Washington, Denzel's son. Denzel's son could absolutely play Michael Jordan, but he doesn't look like Michael Jordan. I don't think he's tall enough either.
And Will
it's just
Smith,
like I think Donald Glover would be the perfect Dennis Rodman casting. The dude's 5'6", not tall enough. It will never happen.
You would have to shrink the rest of the cast, right? Like, listen, like that's kind of what has happened, right? Like, none of these guys are that tall in real life. I don't think. Like, I think they're not going out and getting 7 foot tall actors. Like, these guys are all relatively 6'2", 6'3", right? Like somewhere in that range. Like we saw the dude that played Dr. J, right? Dr. J was what, 6'6", 6'7", something like that. The dude that played Dr. J won the dunk contest. He's maybe 6'1", 6'2", right? So they're using angles to their advantage here, but
sure. It's just like Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'4", and the dude literally is like they have him eye level with Chris Evans in the most Marvel movies, and there's like every movie. Like it's ridiculous.
Now here's a sneaky one. I was trying to find Buddy's name, but I remember being like, man, if you give him a pencil mustache, he actually could look like Michael Jordan, but very small, not small. I'm not gonna say that, but probably the only movie you would know him from is Mortal Kombat. If you looked recently, Mehcad Brooks. Oh, Mehcad Brooks.
Yeah. Well, however you say his name,
Mehcad, whatever it is.
And I think he is actually a tall guy too. The problem is though, is that he's 45 years old.
He's 45. Like you gotta use some CGI on this one. I think that's the solution. Right, we just get a tall dude. We get Michael Jordan to say all his own lines, and then you CGI Michael Jordan's young face on to whoever that guy is. Just have him wearing a green screen mask, because realistically, they already did this in the Fire Gatorade commercial where young Mike plays against old Mike.
Okay, who would you? We talk a lot about Michael Jordan. Who would you cast as Scotty?
Jeffrey Jordan.
I mean, there may be enough DNA overlap there to where he can kind of pull it off. You never know there.
Or is it Marcus? Which one's widow? Which one? Is it a tag team thing? Again, Marcus is widow.
Doesn't look like him, but I think Michael B. Jordan could pull off a Scottie Pippen.
I'm telling you, you got to find actors. See, that's you got to find. First off, you got to have a voice. Like somebody's pitch shift in this mug, you know what I mean?
Listen,
like,
they're actors. They hopefully they get the training to be able to do something.
But you know how Scotty voice is. You gotta be
like, I didn't want to mess up my summer.
Like you gotta, you know what I mean?
Who played Ghost in Power? Amari Hardwick. He can play Scotty.
The worst part is the Bulls have such distinct features.
Distinct, bro. Like Scottie Pippen's face is shaped like a foot. It's not many people who literally can pull that.
Scottie Pippen looks like the Chicago Blackhawk. Like you gotta go find literally like, you know what I mean? Like we've been 100% honest. Scottie Pippen gotta have some Native American descent because he looked like Chief Blackhawk. Turn Scottie Pippen face sideways. Get a profile shot of Scottie Pippen.
Bro, the place in hell that there is for you.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Like, they're so distinct. Like,
all right, so Phil, who you casting as Phil Jackson?
Don't they got Phil in Winning Time, though? No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they did, right? Because they was playing the Knicks.
Oh, you're right.
Some dude that was playing Phil. So Phil should be already in there.
So you're going to take the same guy from Winning Time over.
Yep. Just you throw some Jordans on his feet. That's all you got to do. Just throw some Jordans on his feet. Give him some retro ones. Call it a day. I mean, like, it's tough, bro. Like, I almost feel like Rodman's the easiest one to pick because you could pick from any of the names of the guys we just said because Dennis looked old at like 27.
I mean, Dennis has looked old forever. Same with Kareem. Like, Kareem, he looked old forever.
You know what I mean? Like, you just had to go old with it. So I feel like that's it. Like, you could color Michael B. Jordan's hair and he could play Dennis Rodman.
Michael B. Jordan is Dennis. I don't think Michael B. Jordan has the.
He definitely don't have the height.
No, not even the height. I don't think he has the weirdness. That's why I said Donald Glover would be Donald Glover would be perfect to play him.
Now I want Danny Glover to play somebody in the show. Now I want Danny Glover to be somebody. Danny Glover's got to be he too old for this. Even this, one of the older black actors has to play Charles Oakley.
Oh yeah, you got
to. Somebody gotta play Oak, bro. I need that.
You gotta.
All he does in the show is just punch people.
You stupid, bro.
I'm trying to think. I mean, like, man, the Bulls are too hard to cast. But realistically, though, right? Like, you think about Winning Time, right? Like, I don't think any of these guys were major actors before.
No, that's the thing. I mean, they could go completely. They have to cast. I mean, a lot of them were like Adrian Brody, who plays Pat Riley, is absolutely.
He was, yes, 100%.
Him, Jason Segel, Jason Clark, John C. Riley. I think. Oh, Wood Harris as well, who's in there. They're like the most known, I think, actors in it. And then of course you have Sally Field in there as Jesse Buss.
But player wise, right? Like most of the players are newer dudes that we see in and stuff like that. Guys that hope to go on and have long careers. So I think that, I mean, listen, I think you got to go all new because you got to find somebody with Scotty's nose, bro. There's got to be some actor out there that's been like, man, I've been looking for this schnoz role for 10 years, bro.
Bro, you and this. What's up with you and noses lately, bro?
Hey, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave it alone. That's a little behind the scenes cue there. But let us know who would be your perfect casting for a Chicago Bulls winning time type show. Let me know what you guys think on that down below, man. Before we get into the next topic, we're going to talk about Joakim Noah's all-time starting 5 Bulls. Got to talk to you guys about FanDuel. Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, Pat. Joakim Noah once again gives his starting 5. Shout out to you as well for pointing out it's the same exact starting 5 he gave in March of last year. At least he's consistent, right? At least it wasn't one of those things.
He didn't make up a new one.
You're not like, wait a second, Joe, that's not what you said in 2022.
100%.
But with that said, he picked Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Luol Deng at the 4, and Luke Longley at the 5. What do you think about Joakim Noah starting 5?
4 is debatable, but he played with Lou. 4 is very debatable. Like a Luol Deng at the 4 is crazy to me. And I get right. Like, listen, Luke Longley at the 5 is crazy, but Joakim Noah grew up overseas, right? So you end up. He grew up in New York, but like Pops is overseas. He's overseas a lot. Probably saw Luke Longley a ton. And Luke Longley is basically a god in Australia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and his dad's out there winning. Isn't that a tennis thing? The Australian Open and stuff like that? Ain't that a tennis thing?
Yes,
is that just golf?
Yes.
Or is that just golf? I don't know what all the Opens are. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not a big tennis guy. I did see Coco going off on that ref. Shout out to her for standing up for herself. But
yeah. And she was right.
She was right too. She was like, "Hey, yo, the cheating is crazy. Like, you're not even gonna hide it. You're not even gonna hide it, bro." But no, I feel like, you know, like, listen, it's his all-time 5, but there's some names on there that shouldn't be on there. Like Luol Deng shouldn't be on. Luol Deng's not the greatest forward the Bulls have ever. Luol Deng's not a better forward than Carlos Boozer. Like. And then 5, you know, Luke Longley, cool, but like Luke Longley's getting cooked by A-Train. Luke Longley's getting cooked by Horace. You can put Horace in either spot, really. Luke Longley's Luke Longley probably never scored a bucket against Dennis Rodman in his life.
No, Luke Longley got buckets against Dennis Rodman. I mean, listen, Luke Longley he was a really, really good player, good to great in some scenarios and matchups and things like that. But like you said, I'm not putting him over artists. I'm not putting him over Joe. I'm definitely not putting him over Joe.
Well, Joe was trying not to pick himself.
I know. I know. I'm just saying my personal list. I'm not putting him over those players. But I mean, listen, Luke Longley was a monster in a lot of ways. Like, he had his time. Do not get me wrong. He had his moments, but I mean, you got to put it in perspective. Luke Longley was great and all, but like, you really putting Luke Longley over artists? Like, that's the biggest thing for me.
I don't even think is Luke Longley. We'll have this discussion more in the next segment, honestly, because we got to get into that too. But like, I'm not gonna criticize his list because, like I said, I mean, like, it's his list. But Luke Longley's not a bad player, but I'm not putting Luke Longley among. Now, unless he's going with this, right? Luke Longley, as far as being able to fit in and be a great role player, yes. Like, I can get behind you on that a little bit more.
I mean, and here's the thing. I respect Joe for giving his answer and letting it be his answer, not the politically correct answer, right? I think so many of these people, like when they ask their all-time starting five, they give like these politically correct answers like, oh, yeah, I'd pick such and such in my starting five. Like Pistol Pete. Dude, you've never seen Pistol Pete play, bro. I'm not talking about all-time starting. Like, you're 19 years old. I know you've never seen Pistol Pete play, bro. You've never seen it.
I would be impressed if somebody did, because if we being 100% honest, like, I mean, you could find it. It's on YouTube. Like, but if it was a young player, that's the next thing I'm waiting on. Some young player that comes in is like, hey, man, where'd you learn your game? Oh, man, I studied Jerry West like a mug. Hey, wait a minute now. Hold on. Jerry West. He's just cooking out here, bro. He like 2 dribble pull up. Can't stop me. He was pulling threes for no reason.
Listen, what? The fact of the matter, how many threes do you think Jerry West would have hit?
I think somebody calculated it up. If there had been a 3-point line, he would have been he might have been the leading scorer all time, I think they said. Because he just took, like, his answer for it is a terrible, but like such a boss answer, because like he's just basically, they said, why'd you shoot out there? He literally was just like, because no one stood there. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but there wasn't a great advantage to it. But because it was Jerry West, there was an advantage to it. Like, I don't know, man. It was Jerry was a dog, bro. But I mean, at the end of the day, listen, like, I do like that Joakim Noah has his 5 and that his 5 is his 5.
So I just did real quick look up because I had to. Rough estimation, according to this website, is that if the 3-point line had been a thing, Jerry West would have scored 10,000 more points than what he scored.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He always shot out there. When you look up Jerry West clips, he's doing like Michael Jordan's mid-range 2 dribble pull-up, but from like 40 feet. Like, he had Steph Curry range.
Shout out to him on that. That's crazy. So
no, you know what it was? He would have been. That's what it was at first. Reggie Miller wouldn't have had the record. That's what the of all-time 3-pointers made. So it would have been Jerry West that would have had it.
Around 25,000 points for his NBA career. You add 10,000 to that. That would have put him at number 4 all time above Kobe. That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Somebody didn't paint a line on that floor.
Because the NBA was like, hey, man, nobody wants to shoot the ball all the way out there. And Jerry West said,
Jerry's like, I do.
I got it. And keep
in
mind,
Jerry, why are you shooting out there? They punch people down there, bro.
Reggie Miller with threes. Reggie Miller only scored 80 more points than Jerry West.
Yep.
That's bananas.
Yep.
Bro. That's crazy.
It's crazy when you look at Jerry West was cold, bro. He was a dog. Well,
yeah. I know he was a wolf.
What did he say? He was a wolf. Hey, listen, I get it, 100% wolf, right? You kill him, but you was a wolf all till you got to the finals. Like, and most people they be like, hey, they be like, the Celtics had the greatest team of all. Like, Jerry team wasn't no scrubs, bro.
Yeah,
Jerry had dogs on his team out here, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Jerry West.
We just went down a deep rabbit hole there.
Hey, bro, we basketball heads, man. This is Locked On Bulls, but we love basketball. So, you know, it is what it is, bro.
I also want to point this out just to, you know, I mean, come on, bro.
Bro, how did you do that quick? What? Wow.
I'm just saying, it's not an insult either. Like, it's actually, bro, look how close that is. I've thought this my entire life.
That is so funny, bro. So if you're saying if the Blackhawks ever need to change their logo, they could just put Scottie Pippen
just a profile face shot.
Hey, Scotty, can we use your side profile for our logo? Sure, cut me a check. Bet we got you.
I'm telling you, dog.
Boom.
I'm telling you, Scotty
the
was
social
on
justice
it, bro.
Warriors are off the Blackhawks at that point. That's crazy, bro.
The worst thing they ever did was give 2 dudes that know how to graphic design as well as we do a show. That took me all of 8 seconds.
Bro, that is
he
hilarious.
Said, bro, how did you make it that quick?
Because we've been having a conversation. I know you can make it, but like you did this mid-conversation. Let that be a notice to all you graphic designers out there. If you can't graphic design while actively podcasting, you fell in that life. Bro.
You fell in that life. Right, and that's not even graphic design. That's just putting two pictures together. Like that was. Hey, what I couldn't do though was get Larsa out of there. That's still her in the corner over there. You know what I mean?
We saw her a little bit over there, but I mean, listen, she's in a lot of corners, bro.
Okay, all right. Let's get into
Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. With that being said, Pat, let's get into the last topic for today. The best Bulls centers of all time. Me, you were in talking about Joakim Noah's list. We naturally went to like, hey, there's not a lot of great Chicago Bulls centers of all time, bro. Like you quickly get to Brad Miller on the list.
Here's the thing. Are we stipulating how long somebody had to be here for them to be a great Bulls center?
Well, I don't necessarily say they have to be here a long time, but they had to be great while in a Bulls uniform. None of that. You're great somewhere else. You spend one season here. Like Powell, I understand, can make lists. He had one of his better statistical seasons as a Chicago Bull, but I still wouldn't rank him as like one of the best Bulls all-time centers because the sample size isn't there, and he is still the best. The heights of his career weren't with the Bulls, so
the heights weren't, but he was pretty great here.
Oh yeah, it was solid.
Like when Muzz was mad. I remember Bulls fans just being so upset about Pau Gasol's defense. I was like, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but that's not what Pau ever was known for. Like, when did we start expecting him to be a lockdown center? I mean, listen, Artis is one, right? We all agree. Artis is one.
He left and came back too, right?
Is Horace two?
Horace gotta be two, bro. Like, I mean, you can make the conversation for Joe as two, but to me, it's Horace because the titles that puts him above Joe to me.
Right.
Three. Joe for me, Joe.
Three is Joe?
For me, for my personal list, I'm giving it to Joe.
I mean, yeah. Bill Cartwright not better than Joe. Oak wasn't really here long enough. Was Oak here 4 years in total? He was here like 3 years.
85 to 88, and then again in the 2000s. I don't remember the years in the 2000s.
Right.
But the 2000s years don't count. That was literally Jerry Reinsdorf being like, yeah, you need some money, I got you.
I mean, listen, where's Vooch?
Vooch
got to be top five,
Vooch
right?
is getting up there. Top five?
Vooch got to be top five.
Okay, so
Vooch has now been here, what, 3 years?
Okay, so if you're saying that, so that would you're putting Vooch over Luke Longley with the titles? Because Luke did have the success with titles.
I mean, listen, like, so does Stacey King, but Vooch is a better center than both. You know what I mean? Like, Vooch is over Luke Longley to me.
Okay.
Luke was a defender more. Well, Luke was a defender.
I mean, Luke only had 1 year, I think, of averaging double-digit points. I think he had 11 and 6 years somewhere in there. So,
and Luke probably averaged over a block a game most of his career.
True.
So, I mean, you knew what Luke was gonna be. Vooch is above Luke. Like I don't. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm just not even a question because Vooch averages over a block a game and gives you 18 and 11. Like, yeah. So, I mean, is Joe above Vooch?
I'm putting Joe personally. Joe's above Vooch to me. More success, individual accolades. We went deeper on playoff runs with Rose being there, not being there. I got to give it to Joe.
All right, so I'll agree with you on that. I get DPOY. Yeah, okay. I'll go Joe 3. I guess Vooch 4.
Vooch 4. Okay.
And then what?
Cartwright 5.
Bill Cartwright's 5.
Cartwright's 5.
Ben Wallace really didn't do much here.
Ben Wallace, 1.5 seasons? I can't give it to Ben Wallace.
Will Purdue, no.
You start getting into that's Tyson Chandler, Brad Miller's names. We're starting to get into those.
And Tyson wasn't good here.
Nate Thurmond, we got to give it to. I know that's well before our times. That's 73 to 76, something like that.
How much love we got for Nazi Muhammad?
Not much, bro.
Okay, never mind. I mean, dog, like honestly, Stacey King might be a top 10 Bulls center all time.
Okay, when you look at Stacey King or Bill Winnington?
Stacey King.
Okay.
Give me Stacey.
All right.
Give me Stacey.
Where you ranking? We're Purdue a lot of people
because the Bulls basically were just like, "Hey, man, come sit on this bench and win championships." But
one of the best scorers in collegiate like basketball at that point in time.
Bro, he was number one that year.
Yeah.
He was the best scorer in college basketball that year coming out. And the Bulls were basically just like, you want to go sit on this bench and win a game? Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, what are we talking? We talking, I mean, dog, it's quickly like Eddie Curry,
Charles Oakley,
Dave Corzine.
I literally haven't thought about that name in probably 30 years, bro.
AD, like, Antonio Davis. It's not great. I think the point of this whole thing was we don't have a lot of great centers. We do really good in the guard position. Maybe we need to focus more on the center.
Hey, wait. Here's the scariest question of all. Is Cristiano Felicio a top 25 Bulls center of all time?
No.
Can you name 25?
Brad Miller still played here, bro. Come on.
Yes. Brad Miller, we've talked about. He's in the top 10 to 12. But when you talk about 25 Chicago Bulls centers of all time, is Cristiano Felicio on that list, bro? You gotta be objective.
No. Give me Nazi.
Okay.
Give me Wendell.
Okay.
Give me.
Oh, you putting Daniel Gafford above Cristiano Felicio?
Sadly enough, Daniel didn't even play enough to get above him. That's the sad part. We just drafted this dude and let him live there. I mean, hey, give me Powell. Powell's above him for sure.
Oh, Powell for sure. Like, that's
look,
without
I don't
question,
care about time or nothing. I mean, didn't we have Nate Thurman when the team started? Didn't we?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned Nate Thurman earlier.
Yeah. Give me Rolo. Take Rolo.
Oh, yeah. Rolo's definitely above Cristiano Felicio.
Let me get Aaron Gray. All right, maybe I'm going too far.
You're capping with the Aaron Gray over there, bro.
Will Purdue? Dang it, he might be. I'm not counting, but like, and we got to get some centers, bro. Is Larry Marketing the center? He played center for us, didn't he?
He played a little center for us.
Played center, Larry Marketing. It's bad.
Bro, it's bad, man. It's bad.
Who was that? Oh, who was that big useless dude that we had?
John Sally? Oh, I'm sorry. That's
no,
what I'm about.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. No, we had a big useless dude for like 2 years with the baby Bulls.
That's Aaron Gray.
No,
somebody other than him?
No, he was still there with Derek.
Oh, you're talking about Victor Carapa?
No, he was useless too.
Yeah. That's a deep cut as well. I haven't the fact that I pulled out Victor Carapa is wild, bro.
Othella Harrington.
I don't even remember, dude.
Bro, Othella Harrington was here like 3 years, bro. I'm putting him above Cristiano Felicio.
That's funny.
Omer Sheik.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't forget
Turkish Hammer.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Tony Bradley.
Him and
Tony Bradley had a better week than Cristiano Felicio's whole career.
No, you remember you even said it. Dwayne Wade got Cristiano Felicio paid. Cristiano Felicio had some pretty good weeks in there.
Wade was disgusting. I hate that it was too. He was so
That's funny. All right, let's get up out of here. Cristiano Felicio's name popped up. It's time to end the show, bro.
Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. I'm mad. I can't think of 25 centers. I don't even think we named 25. I just throw a name. We might have got the 15.
I think we got 20 in there. You guys can follow me.
Felicio's one of them.
True. You can follow me at CEO Haize, CEOHAIZE, man. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Locked On Bulls. You can catch us tomorrow, being back with more foolishness and craziness, whatever comes first, man. Well, for Pat, I'm Haize. This has been Locked On Bulls, man. We out of here.
Peace,
y'all.
That's tough.
We gotta get some centers, bro. Marko Simonovic is a top 35 center for the Chicago.